Daring Abroad is brought to you by our friends at Remitly. Download the Remitly app to send money back home.
Hello and thank you for tuning in to the show today. My name is Michael Zimanzi and we have an interesting one for you. From South Africa, best-selling author Rottocks Chesaina shares his knowledge of how to make it abroad. Also on the show, Kimisitu shows us how Kenyans in the diaspora can invest back home. But first, here are the highlights.
Johannesburg is a very big city.
He's a financial consultant, an author, writer, and renowned publisher whose publications have been bestsellers in the market.
I always had that hunger to be in that publishing space.
Yes, Rottocks Chesaina shares his 22-year journey in South Africa.
You can make money from writing books.
Also on the show, how Kenyans in the diaspora are investing back home through tailor-made opportunities by Kimisitu and what it means for the country.
We are present in 56 counties of the world, so that means we're able to serve our members all over the world.
One thing I like about Kimisitu is the staff. When I was in China, I could still communicate with them and they would get back.
With that, let's now fly to Johannesburg with Alex Chamwada.
Great, nice to meet you. I'm coming to you from Johannesburg in South Africa and I have something special for you. Today, I'm speaking to an author, a writer, a consultant in financial reporting and accounting. And this is the book he's authored, very interesting, Masters of Money, strategies for success from chief finance officers of South Africa's biggest companies. This is quite interesting. And familiar face, this is Janet Mbogwa. This gentleman publishes magazines, and on this magazine, this was the first edition, and he featured Janet Mbogwa, a familiar face to you, a former news anchor, and now a consultant in Kenya. I'm talking about Mr. Rottock. Maybe you should say the name yourself, a full name.
Rottocks Chesaina.
Yes.
People know me here as Casey.
Casey.
Casey comes from Kibet Chesaina. Yeah,
so Kibet like Chesaina.
Exactly.
So what do you do in South Africa exactly?
My background is blended, right? I'm a financial person. I studied accounting, qualified as a chartered accountant here in South Africa, but I'm also someone who likes publishing. I've also studied journalism. I did creative journalism, I did financial journalism. Wow. So I do consulting, I do entrepreneurship as well, organizing events. Other than publishing the books, before that I used to publish magazines. I used to organize events. I conceived the South African Professional of the Year Award, which was an annual event that I host, with corporate companies and so on. And so in a nutshell, I'd say my work is in between financial consulting and writing.
And what motivated you to go to study journalism? Those are like two fields that are wide apart. So to study, writing, being a journalist. What was the motivation behind that?
So, Alex, when I finished high school, I actually wanted to go into communication like you. I wanted to go and study journalism, but I don't know how it is now, but back then it was such that if you do well in school, they want you to go and do something like medicine.
Yeah, I know. I mean, my father really wanted me to be a lawyer.
So that's why I ended up studying BCom, accounting, right? That's why I did accounting, but deep down, I always had that hunger to write. I always had that hunger to be in that publishing space, and that's why later in life, I said, let me go, and I did a few courses at the local university here to just hone my skills, and I also did a fellowship with Bloomberg in New York which also really helped me in terms of my developing that side of something that I'm passionate about. When my mother moved to South Africa, I followed her 2 years later, and that's how I ended up here in the year
What had she come
2000.
to do in South Africa?
She was she was working at the embassy. Yeah, so
At the High Commission.
at the
That's
High
in
Commission
Pretoria?
In Pretoria. She's Professor Siaronji Chesaina. She's by background a literature professor actually before she went into diplomacy. So I spent my university days in Pretoria. And like many people you may have encountered in South Africa, they studied in Pretoria, in Durban, in wherever, then they end up in Johannesburg because here is the commercial capital of South Africa. So I was in Pretoria, and then thereafter I studied at Wits University here in Johannesburg.
You said that she came here in which year, 2000?
She came here in 99.
In 99?
Yeah, and I joined her in 2000, studied till 2004. And then that's when I started working.
Yeah.
And then I left employment in 2013. There's a lot of culture shock, like I think anywhere you go. And here it's a place where language-wise, for example, if you go, I don't know if you've encountered it, where they will speak to you in Zulu and you need to at least know a few things. You know, have the basic thing. When you're told something, you have an idea, because they don't like it when they're speaking to you, a fellow black man, and then
You have to speak English.
yeah, you're speaking English.
And just tell me a little more about the book. You know.
Masters of Money.
Masters of Money. Very
Yeah.
interesting title.
Yeah, I think this title is a bit maybe misleading, because maybe people think when they buy this book they are going to be told, you know,
How
go
to make
and
money.
go and buy properties, or these are the shares that you should buy, and so on. The book is essentially, we went and targeted the people who are the money men in companies. And a lot of the themes are more on a professional level. If you want to progress your career. I was actually very amazed by the uptake of people buying this book, even in Kenya. Yeah, because it's been selling a lot. Of course, it's across the South African shops. But I've been talking about it on social media, and it's really done very well.
Wow.
A lot of people, in fact, after a month, I published the first 100 people who had bought the book. I put all their names up there to say thank you.
Wow.
Because I was surprised that
Wow.
I was doing hundreds of sales of this book in Kenya.
So
Yeah.
is it giving you money, the book itself?
I think you can make money from writing
Yes.
books. For me personally, the biggest benefit of writing the book is that the book has been a business card, if I can call it that. You know, if someone has written a book, it also portrays you as an authority in that area, and that can then open up other doors other than just the sales.
Absolutely,
of the book.
yeah. And enlighten us more about the magazine. Are you
Okay.
still, is it still
Yeah,
on?
so
on?
when I started in the magazine space, I mean, there's this first edition that had Janet. And this edition was a very Kenyan edition. The book is called, the magazine was called Expatriate, because it was basically focused, as you can see on the title, on professionals and entrepreneurs of foreign origin in South Africa. And the mission there was, in South Africa, you know about xenophobia,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
So there was this perception that we had in South Africa that we just come here as foreigners to take jobs and to take women of the South Africans. So it was just to change the perception, to say, you know, let's feature the professionals, who they are, what they do, what contribution they make in South Africa. Then from that, I mean, it wasn't just Kenyans. I mean, like this Jumoke is from Nigeria, that Zenzo Lusengo is from Zimbabwe. So people from all over the African diaspora who are in South Africa.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I rebranded that, and we call it now the African Professional, because we used to find that we organize events all the time. And these events, we never used to just have people of foreign origin who are coming to those events. We even had our fellow South Africans who are coming to attend, and they were feeling like they were being discriminated against coming to a platform and engaging with people. And when it says expatriate, if they are not expatriates, they felt excluded. And therefore now we change the name
This is more
of the magazine.
inclusive.
Yeah, and call it the African Professional.
You now publish the African Professional.
Correct.
It's ongoing.
Yeah, so this publication has been going since 2010. That was the first edition. This is one of the later
So how
editions.
regular is this?
It's a quarterly publication.
Okay.
And we've done, I mean, you can imagine quarters since 2010 till to date. We are done over 40 editions of this magazine.
So there are things we don't know behind the scenes.
Yeah, there are many challenges, very many challenges. I think if you have a regular, you would know.
Yes.
You have a regular income, mwisho wa mwezi, pesa
Iko,
inaingia.
Nenda kwa ATM swipe, can get advance salary.
Exactly, everything is fine.
Yeah, but
now if you're, I say we go from feast to famine, you know. Sometimes you're feasting and sometimes you're
That's
starving.
how business works.
That's how business works.
Yeah.
So there are instances where you find that things are kumekauka.
You can call it, for lack of better word, the dry spell.
Dry spell, exactly.
Kumekauka. Then the times when, wow, everything comes as like, wow.
And then sometimes you're because you're only one person, and that's why you need to have a team. Sometimes people come and they are demanding of your time. And where can you be? You know, you can't be in three places at the same time. Also, you need to be versatile.
And professional.
You need to be versatile because sometimes you're doing something and it doesn't work. So you see, like the magazines, we ended up having a period of over a year where we didn't publish a magazine simply because and we didn't host any events because COVID happened. So I took my time from there and went now and said, okay, fine. What can I use my time for? And that's when I now went into book writing and publishing. Wow. So you must think of new things that you can do with your skills.
Anything else, Casey, you've done here in South Africa?
Yeah, what else? Oh, I did host a TV show. Yeah, I used to host a TV show. You used to be
a TV host? A
TV host,
What was the show about?
The show was called My Opinion. My Opinion. It was on DSTV. Channel called Ed. Ed was short for education. And it was actually a very interesting show where they had me there as a Kenyan, we had a Nigerian presenter, a South African, a Zimbabwean, and so on. And we used to just talk as Africans. So they put 3 Africans in a room and we talk about polygamy.
So you would be giving your opinion.
Your opinion.
I like the title, My Opinion. I like the title. So are you here to stay? What are your plans in South Africa, in Joburg?
Oh, okay. You know, having stayed here in Johannesburg since 2000, I mean, that's 22 years, more than half my life, So it's a place where I've really settled, of course. Married here, although my wife is from Kenya, Ukambani, and we have our 2 kids here. And when we tell them we are going to Kenya, they see it as ushago. Exactly. Him neze enda alafu mtatupata hapa. Yeah, but you know, East or West home is best. And I do go back home now more frequently than I did previously. Have some interests there. You know, you begin investing back home. We will go back to Kenya. The day of when we will go to Kenya is unknown. It could be 3 years, 5 years, 15 years, but we will hopefully come back home and help build the nation.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bwana Chamwada.
Asante sana. We were speaking to KC, you said KC is your nickname. Rottock Chesaina, who is a consultant in many areas here. He's a writer, he's a publisher, and a consultant in accounting and financial matters. It was a pleasure meeting you. And many thanks.
You as well. Nasafiri salama.
Asante.
Salimia watu nyumbani.
Tutawasalimia sana. Asante.
Thank you, Alex, for that amazing story. Wow, passion and determination. That is all you need for you to make it. Valuable lessons from Rottock there. Time for us to go on a break, but when we return,
we are present in 56 counties of the world, so that means we're able to serve our members all over the world.
How Kimisitu Sacco is helping the Kenyan diaspora invest back home.
With Remitly, you can send money to Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, and over 40 other African countries with low or no fees, so more money gets home. Loved ones can receive their money through familiar options like MTN, M-Pesa, First Bank, Access Bank, and more. Plus, an ever-expanding network of bank deposit, mobile money, and cash pickup availability. You will also get real-time transfer updates so you know where your money is through the whole transfer process. Download the Remitly app today and get a special offer on your first transfer.
You are watching Daring Abroad, brought to you by our friends at Remitly. Download the Remitly app to send money back home.
It's been barely a year since Delvin Mora relocated back to Kenya from the People's Republic of China, where she pursued a master's degree in supply chain management. Delvin is the operations manager at Isignature Builds, a Rongai-based business that she started with her husband while living abroad.
We deal with wooden stuff. We make wooden stuff, bowls, beds, seats, tables. We also deal with liquid glass that we use to make tables, beds, bowls, same thing. We also make bags out of wood and leather. We also do metal fabrication. I first went to China in 2015. There is a lot that I learned in China, and one that really made me stay there longer is the opportunities there. You know, China is like the kitchen that serves the entire world in terms of production. So there's a lot of business opportunity there. I do sourcing for Kenyan clients, and I have clients in Uganda as well. So that I learned while studying and living in China. There are so many Africans, so many people from all over the world who go study in China and start their own companies there. I wanted to invest with Kimisitu. That's what my initial thought was. But then living outside, sometimes you get so immersed in that world out there and you even forget.
This is what inspired Delvin to join Kimisitu Circle, a Tier 1 circle with an asset base of over 9.6 billion Kenya shillings and a global membership of over 11,000 people.
I joined in Kimisitu Circle back in 2018. I had just finished my master's and I was newly married, and I felt like I really needed to invest. I was getting good amount of money out of the work I was doing, and while supporting family and stuff, I really felt a need to invest somewhere back home because I knew my end goal was to come back home. So I knew Kimisitu first when I was working with an international organization called Vestagard. I was a junior employee there for a short period, and I got to learn that they used to save with Kimisitu.
Yes, Kimisitu has over 460 diaspora members. Luanga Mbeche is the circle's chief executive officer.
Kimisitu Circle is where to be. We are present in 56 counties of the world, so that means we're able to serve our members all over the world, irrespective of which part of the world you actually have. We have our products, and we know one of the things that we are actually aware of is that the diaspora need the trust, need the confidence that they actually have in a financial institution, and actually been there for 37 years.
We are compliant in terms of all the audits and the kind of reports we submit to them as per the requirements, all the statutory requirements, the ratios, and all our operations are streamlined towards the compliance. We are doing now what we call hybrid AGM, where we have the virtual and physical. And the virtual enables all members, including the ones in abroad, all corners of the world, they are able to attend and follow the AGM and even ask questions and contribute, which we ensure are minuted and share with them.
So we basically leverage on technology, and we have our own app, our own mobile app as Kimisitu Circle. That means that you can actually be able to do a transaction at the comfort of your home, where you'll actually be able to apply for the products, for the loan. You're actually able to join as a member through the online platforms that we actually have. We do all our applications online, so we are basically a digital circle, and that means that our reach is all over the world.
One thing I like about Kimisitu Circle is the staff. When I was in China, I could still communicate with them and they would get back. They are so efficient. I never took any loans for the 4 years. Now when we decided that we want to bring our business here in Kenya, we needed money. And I tried to reach out to people, friends, family members, and it was hard. So I had to find another way. And I didn't know that Kimisitu would come through the way it has.
This is how Isignature Builds Kenya came into being.
I just tried. I even didn't know like how much I could get out of the little that I had invested. So I walked there back in 2022 when we came back home to start this business. So I walked into the circle, then they briefed me and told me what I qualify for. They educated me on stuff that I didn't know. Then I just applied. It was so seamless. I just gave them all the documentations they needed, the work, my pay slip, my contract, just that. I got the money in a matter of few days and we shipped in our things. We set up this place.
About 45 kilometers from Delvin's business, we find Joseph Tanui. Similar to Delvin, Joseph is an entrepreneur with his own restaurant business by the name Meat and Grill. He too has reaped the benefits of being a diaspora member of Kimisitu Circle.
I was an associate scientist at ICRAF. I moved out of headquarters and I was in Kampala, Uganda, doing a project under African Highlands Initiative, where I was a policy scientist there. And one thing I liked in Kimisitu was that it was not entirely limited to Kenyans living in Kenya, but I realized I could be a member even in Kampala. So I actually became a Kimisitu member while I was based in Kampala, working in Kampala, and at that point I didn't know how long I was gonna last in Kampala. I ended up staying 9 years over there. This is a family-run business, and me, my wife, my son, and my daughter, we are directors and we work towards this. This is not a rented place, this is owned by us. But when we bought it, thanks to Kimisitu, we bought it simply because we had a facility. Kimisitu was encouraging us to be able to at least get an asset as we were working. And I would say one of the biggest problems you have when you have just your monthly pay is this whole issue of lumpiness. You are not able to gather enough capital to be able to produce the major factor of production, and most of the time is an asset, maybe land. Kimisitu helps do this.
So the uniqueness about our diaspora membership is that we are able to provide the solutions that these diaspora members want in terms of investing back home. So you find that diaspora members are looking to buy a home, buy property, so that by the time this person is coming back home, they're able to have somewhere they can be able to call a home, or this could be investments in terms of rental units. And we are able to finance these projects for up to 105%. So, and we give our members up to 7 times of their deposits. So for the diaspora membership, we are able to make it very swift and easy to apply for these loans.
We promote the housing agenda is that we have a product that we call Makawalisi. So for the Makawalisi product, we give a multiplier of 7 times a deposit that you actually saved with us. And then we have, for the home ownership, we have, you can pay up to 12 years at 1%. And for commercial building, you can pay for 15 years at again 1%.
Through their services, Kimisitu Circle has been able to change the lives of thousands of members, with the ripple effects being felt in the economy.
My name is Caroline Karanja. I'm a co-founder of Outreach Tours and Safaris, and I'm the CEO. Outreach Tours began in 2011. We've been able to upgrade from van to cruisers, and this is because of the circle. Personally, I've been able to take even education loan where I paid for my degree. And I would say, as a member of Kimisitu, what I like about them, they become personal and they look at each member request case by case.
When a member takes a loan and he starts a business, he has income. He's able to bring even employment to other people. They're able to start transport businesses, they're able to do agriculture, farming, they're able to still meet their loan obligations and take care of their families.
Can really be proud of is the achievements that we have in terms of the revenue. Our revenue has surpassed $1 billion that we are going to share with the members. We have also the ISO certification.
I usually really feel fulfilled, especially when members come back and they give testimony that loan that you gave me, they show me pictures on their phone. I did this. You can see my beautiful house. You can see the apartments that I've built with the money that you gave me. You can see the transport. I have a fleet of vehicles. I started with one, then we always top up. And they've been able to get more and more. And it gives me joy because I'm serving others. And I've been able to make their lives move from one step to another.
Thank you, Alex, for that amazing story. And with that, we have come to the end of the show today. Many thanks for watching and see you next time.
Daring Abroad is brought to you by our friends at Remitly. Download the Remitly app to send money back home.